So, day 7. This is the last day of our planned project and we're gonna get the engine running today. It's been a mission. We've done well over 200 man hours combined on this project, which usually takes, like, that's weeks or months of project, and we've pulled it all off in 7 days, and it's been a hard 7 days with a lot of people on the job, but we're getting it running. It's happening today.
And you're going to sort of stealthily
put it off, yeah, and that's going to run off into the bottom of that pipe.
Let's pass it around.
And then we need to just wrap like some split heater hose over the top to hide that there's a T-piece in there.
Yep. Can do.
Aaron thinks I'm wasting my time. And
not just your time.
And it doesn't matter, it's only drop. Probably just that general area for the fuse box and battery tray and shit.
Oh, there's all the way over here.
That goes up there.
Yeah. Get in the hole. I'd like to be able to hide that better than we still got to do it. So, there. So yeah, we'll just destroy him by chopping him there. Alright.
Hey, your leads. Ruining a perfect piece of fuck.
Well, as long as you can salvage some of the plug-ins.
Yeah, make some longer ones for later. And
So
the rear ones, if someone can figure out what the f***'s going on there. I haven't put lips on the pipe because it's hard to push in and it definitely can't pop off. So that goes there.
Yeah, because it doesn't come through the speaker.
Ish.
Right.
So that leaves room.
Aaron's like,
Yeah.
Idiots. So yeah, hose clamp there, there and there, of course. We should have made that longer, but whatever. We'll try and squeeze it all in there.
Pipe comes up from inside. Yeah, if you jump on that side, you'll be able to see. Pipe comes up through here, and then the other top of the airbox lid comes through, and the other pipe comes down through. And this is the factory piece that used to go in there. And that'll actually go back in, cover over, and slip in, back over, and you won't even see it at all.
It's all about as tight as you can get that.
Tidier for clamps.
Doesn't
so when we
fit.
thought we were winning, we're really losing.
We're really losing. So we've made a bit of a mistake here. All our excitement making all these lines for the turbo system and stuff, we've kind of blocked where the radiator hose is supposed to go, so we can't fit that in. So now we're just trying to change our lines around a bit so that radiator hose can go back in.
Not too much of a drama. Could have been a lot worse. It looked a lot worse. Alright.
I'm trying to put the dump in. It doesn't really fit.
Yeah, true. And like, you could do ball rolling.
You can't clip it until it's in the air.
Where's the goal?
No, it goes to the outside.
Just like trying to figure out an eBay intercooler kit. Nobody knows where any of the pipes go.
No, this has got to be down the bottom because of the hook in the back.
That's the bottom bit. Yeah, that's right.
Goes that way.
That way.
Oh, and it goes up through the little hole.
Yeah. You're actually putting a pipe there?
Well, I'm not just running.
The white and black.
Yeah. Line up, but that's the line up on the okay. And that flex pipe.
You'll want orient all of it.
I'll probably tack it on the car, so we'll swap the gas bottle around.
Yep.
So give it a little tack, 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 and then take it back out and weld it.
Alright, you want to...
Yeah.
Yeah, I need the 3/8 quarter adapter.
Last of the fabrication, maybe. This little pipe here. So this is got to be one of my favourite features of the whole build, the Varix Y section. So you can see when the car's in quiet mode, you know, so we're just driving it normally, all the exhaust gas comes through here, then through the original exhaust system, through the original muffler. It should sound exactly like the Camry sounded before we modified anything. But then when you feel like going fast, you activate the switch which opens this butterfly in here, and all the exhaust gas will bypass the system and come out of a little dump here, giving us maximum power. It's so rusty. If we get them through there first, we're going to have to do... can you, someone... Oh, that's it.
Drift speed, plus 10 kilowatts. Sorry, there's a yellow paint.
Let's see if it all bolts up and...
Plus 10. Yeah. Just carve it all off to even it up so it sits flat against the turbo. Installing an air filter professionally, perfectly fitted for the application. Come on, you. Why you no go? It's like it's on. It's practically on. Like, it just must be more on.
Not be more.
I'm calling that a win.
Is this going to work, eh?
I think it'll work. Tristan probably won't like it, but it's there. Fucking job done. I'm out of here. Job's done.
Have you guys taken the tape off?
Tape off?
The intercooler? Remember?
What?
Have you taken the tape off the intercooler?
I know, because I didn't put it up there.
You put it on there though.
Sorry. Suppose I did. I didn't put the elbows on there.
Neither did I.
I maybe I did about 3 days or 4 days ago. But
That's pretty cool.
metal. Coolest of needs all of it and a bit more.
All of it, yeah, definitely a bit more because what, probably 100, 200 mil big enough.
Not even.
Going for a cruise, Dave.
Where do you want me to roll it?
Out of a drum.
Oh, you've got some?
Hey?
You've got some, do you?
As in we need to, or we do?
No, we need to put fuel in. And we need to do clutch fluid.
This could be one of the first times in history someone has put ethanol into a Camry Vienta. Deliberately. Because God knows my wife would put anything into it, including diesel. As evidenced by the cans over there. That's a diesel 50 on it. That's because they're 50% diesel, 50% petrol.
I wouldn't mind those. I bought my little poking tool.
Dust poking only hidden.
Okay, that's that bit. And the loop over.
Airline.
It's not the snap-on one you're talking about here, is it?
No, that's the vacuum filler.
Oh, right.
I think you actually want to leave it straight. The idea of these little things is when they go in, is actually like going down to like a little M shape and that splits the wires.
It's 20 pound.
Like that, away and then move your big crimp one you've got.
So we've got at least one coolant leak. We've just tested it with air pressure and I could hear the hissing. I think this kind of average surface here where the hose goes on is not quite adequate, so I'm going to start by just giving it a bit of a scrub up. There is quite a lot of lumpy corrosion just around on the bottom, so I'll try to clamp it in a different spot to get us through, and we might end up having to buy new housing in the long run. Thank you.
I've had it for like nearly a year.
Oh, she's the go shot.
Bonding over a big glass of red.
Let me fix my hair.
Yeah. That'll do. I will fill a bit. Alright, so ready to plug in this haltech into the standard Camry wiring harness. And when you know it fits. Sort of. Yeah, bam, done.
Here we are.
So normal is just going to be low boost, very plain, and then hard is going to be high boost, all the power for driving hard. And that can be a picture of a telescope. So to say you have to look very hard to see how far away we are because of all the horsepower.
The problem is, oh, there we go.
You're measuring with that, or are you creating square with that?
Doing both.
Oh, I wouldn't trust that thing for measuring.
No, that's why I'm going to mark it on the actual wire. Looks pretty good.
I feel like you're just gonna like attack it and it's just gonna go and you're just gonna f the whole thing like first go.
Inside the line. Pretty good.
Pro tip, drill the holes first in the corners.
Just smash it with a hammer.
We tried that conversation.
Work.
Cut now, regret later.
Unless you want to do it, shut up.
Yeah, everybody was quiet when I was looking for volunteers. Excellent.
Go on, zip zip.
Fucking genius level 7 out
That'll
of 5,000. Okay, and here the files. There's a file. It's not good for the ends. See, this switch has some little tabs on it designed to, I guess, locate it or make sure you don't put it in the wrong way. Whatever, we'll just make some little receiving grooves. Like factory. Do you want to do that?
Okay, that should be fine, but I'm not going to click it in yet because I want to plug it in before I put it in there.
Do you want me to get some
Because
black
there's
wire?
lots of wires that are going on the side. And I don't know if it'll have enough length.
Okay. Guess I should probably start making a base map for the haltech so this thing has something to start off. I need to pick a base map to start with. We've never done a 3VZ V6 motor, especially not with a turbo before. So I'm going to base it off a non-turbo 2JZ program because it's got the same reluctor sensors in a distributor. It's 6 cylinders, it's 3 litres. Most of them are still on stock camshafts, and we've got some maps here of 2JZ non-turbos that have a big single turbo and ethanol and 1000cc injectors. So seems like a really good starting point. Now it's just a matter of adjusting the map to specifically suit what we have here. So it's going to be setting up the sensors like the fuel pressure sensor, map sensor, and anything else, the switches that's specific to the build that we've done. So now what we're doing is looking up the exact specifications for the injectors so we can set how much they're going to flow at the fuel pressure we're targeting and also what the dead times will be at different voltages so we can get the tune really precise. We're going to power it up for the first time. I'm usually not nervous about this because I know all the cars in here get built right, but we've had so many people have their hands on this car and I don't know half the stuff that people have done, so we're just going to give it power and see what comes out, hopefully not fire.
Alright, crank it up because as soon as it tries to start the thing it'll probably go high resistance and cause problems.
Okay, so see if the computer powers up. It's the immobilizer. Don't put it tight.
I'm not. It's like someone's like almost completely undone it.
Yeah, you want to be able to rip it off in a hurry.
Yeah.
Because when it catches fire, we don't want to waste a good battery.
True.
ECU powers up. Fuel pressure. Woohoo. At least 3 people have done their job correctly.
High five.
Alright, so the ECU has turned on. The laptop is connecting to it. I've got some basic signals coming through. I've got throttle position. So now what we need to do is upload that base map that I've been programming for the past couple of hours. Very meticulously. I want everything to be perfect. And it's well, actually I pressed the wrong button. It looked like the ECU cut out, but I just pressed the wrong button. Alright, let's try that again. Alright, here we go, uploading.
Oh.
Now usually what I do at this point is disable the injectors and crank it and check the sensors and stuff like that. But in the spirit of things, I mean building a whole car in 7 days, I'd say we just go for broke and we just crank and see what happens. It's either going to go broom or bang or whatever. It's going to do a B word. Hopefully not bugger. Alright, we ready guys? Yeah. Fuel pressure sensor says that it's being wired wrong. What? Yeah, that's definitely not right. Alright, so I'm just gonna do a big adjustment on the trigger to flip it right around 180 degrees in software, because that's sometimes all it takes. Alright, here we go. No, that's working.
As a load comes on,
Goes up, the fuel pressure should go up with it. Yeah, it is, and
The blue
becomes more.
is your signal wire, isn't it? Yeah, the blue is your signal wire that I've tapped into.
And they've fixed the wiring problem. The ground wire was going to the wrong spot. So I'll turn the ignition on again. Ooh, well that, Yeah, very low pressure. Might also be why it's struggling to
running.
start, because it seems like the pressure regulator is wound down way low.
Yeah, there's about that much thread sticking out of the FPL.
So what we want to do is unlock that locking screw and start winding that up until we've got
what do you want to do?
lots and lots of pressure.
I can do that.
I'll do this.
Forward a bit. Yeah, right there. So we got it on about 415 kPa. Bounces around a little bit, so around about 410 to 420. We'll set it there. Might just have to give it another crank and see if that's actually changed our starting situation, because it did just sound like it was starving of fuel sometimes. Well, that's it. We're 12 hours in today, and we got the car running exactly like we planned, but we've got a dud injector. These injectors that we put in, they were kind of donated to the project and they've been sitting around for years. Oh, so looking forward to this thing moving under its own power, and it kind of would on 4.5 cylinders, but we'll just order in some new injectors tomorrow, and we're just going into overtime with day 8. Okay, so it's day 8. We are in overtime. Got some new injectors. We're going to replace those 1000cc ones we first put in. Hopefully that solves our fuel delivery problem. If it's not that, then it's going to get real complicated. Stick them in and we'll turn the key and see what happens. What's that?
Trying to keep everything a little bit more organised today.
Just about ready to start deleting parts off this engine to make it easier to pull things on and off. Ah, we don't need that bracket. Ah, a few less hoses never hurt anyone. It smells like, you know zinc? Yeah, you know, and I don't know, maybe you're not old enough. You used to go to the pools, and instead of sunscreen, because sunscreen was boring, you got that really bright like green and yellow and red stuff, and it's like, look, I'm cool, I've got
Racing stripes on my face.
racing stripes on my face. It smells like that. Do you think I should put some
It smells
on?
like it smells like melted crayons.
Yeah, which is what zinc smelled like. Flow rate. Alright, here we go. Red wire.
Yep.
Into. Bugger. Injectors are firing, but it got trigger problems. I tried to make it better and I've made it worse. And now it's only running on 3 cylinders at best and throwing flames out the intake, so...
Make it do things, Tristan.
I'm trying.
Plugged in.
Are you done?
Yeah, go.
Let's get it.
Go.
Alright, so we're trying to chase down this misfiring problem. We've pulled the coil harness apart that Aaron made and made sure the grounds are good, and we've made sure the trigger wiring to the ECU is good. It all appears alright, so still a little bit baffled by this, but probe some more wiring. Now we're going to pull some ECU pins out and just check the crimp joins on them and make sure they're secure, and keep searching. calm. Alright, so we've checked wiring to the coils, and we've checked wiring to the injectors, and we've checked the injectors, and we've checked the coils, and we've swapped everything around, and it's still misfiring on cylinder number 1. So now I'm done.
Yeah. Turn the lights off and go home.
Yeah, now we check that. So the ground, not like the signal ground. Yeah. All right. All right, I'll give it a go. Cool, let you know. Oh, right. 1, 2, 3 is. Hey, wait a second. 3, green, 4, white. I think I got it. Come on, look. Here we go. Oh, look at this, look at this. You see that plug here? That diagram said 3 green, 4 white. But this is 3 white, 4 green. They're backwards. That's it. Got the little white one. And just got to swap them into the green position and flick the green one into the white position, and hey. Cool. Let's give it a go. Oh, 2 days of troubleshooting comes down to this moment. 6 cylinders, please. Please. Dyno time. Alright, it's dyno time. Well, we've got the Camry on the dyno already. We decided we'll give the laptop to someone who's never tuned the car before and just see what happens. So we've got Cohen in the driver's seat, and he's getting... Hey Cohen, the laptop goes the other way, buddy.
This way?
No, yeah, more. You keep turning. Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Oh, yeah,
So we've got Cohen in the car, and he's never tuned a car before, and well, I'm just sort of going to give him about 3 minutes of pro tips and see what happens. Let's go.
So,
£4 of boost and 238 horsepower. It's like, that's creeping up to double the original horsepower, and we've only put £4 of boost into it. So I'm pumped. This is going in the right direction. Cohen's doing a pretty good job for a first-time tuner. Mint, let's get the boost up a little higher. Alright, so we found a problem with the wiring that goes to the boost controller we installed, but because we just want to get on with the tuning, we've just sort of disconnected it and we put a little bleed valve in its place, and we can fix the electronic solenoid later. So I'm just going to give it a little bit of a wind. All right, that should do. Let's go. Mint, 6 pounds of boost, more than double the original horsepower. That's awesome. We're well on track to making a lot of power out of this car, but for now, we're just gonna take a break. All right, so there's just one more thing we wanna try. See, these 3VZ engines, they have this switching valve on the intake that goes squeak, 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 like that. And if you believe the internet, then when that valve is closed, it will actually make more horsepower. So we're gonna put that to the test right now. And Mint, I hope the internet is right. I've got my doubts, but nothing bad can happen and maybe we'll pick up some horsepower too. Put it in there. Let's go. Amateur tuner. Yeah, I said ham and tuna, that's right. Hands off the tuna.
Oh, damn it.
All right, ladies and gents, so that is why you don't believe the on the internet. That is from Toyota themselves say that this setting is to give more low down torque, but then it changes to the other setting for more top end power. And that's exactly what we're seeing. We see this boost in low end torque down until you get to about 3,700 RPM, and then it's rubbish after that. So guys, Toyota is correct. The internet is full of shit. You're gonna have to lift me out of the dyno, guys. Just rock it. Yeah, boy. Good thing there's a lot of people here. It's like a Camry rodeo. Over the next few days, more work was done, including fitting some steel head gaskets once they arrived, and installing stiffer wastegate springs, which pushed the humble Camry Vienta to a peak output of a mind-blowing 503 horsepower at the front wheels with 26 pounds of boost. This fully exceeded our wildest hopes, and what's more, the piston stayed inside the engine. And how did it end up going at Race Wars? Well, it spun its Mickey Thompson drag radial tyres to 190 k's an hour on the runway and hit a peak speed of around 260 k's an hour. But with that wheel spin for most of the track, there just wasn't enough distance to reel in the AU Falcon before it crossed the line and we lost. But what an amazing ride. Not just the race, but the whole project. It's one that I don't think we'll ever forget. The Camry Vienta has a special place in our hearts. And so all good things must come to an end. I'd like to take the time to thank all of those wonderful humans who contributed to the building of Grannypants. Oh, and Matt of course, who couldn't be here for the photo. While we missed the 1 week deadline, it was still an exceptional accomplishment to achieve all of this in under 2 weeks. And so we move on, back to something with many, many more cylinders.